Lesson 10. Stop me if you heard it before, but refresher on geometry here. We're kind of reviewing a little bit. We have Pythagorean theorem, good old days. Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A couple things to note. Pythagorean theorem only works if it is a right triangle. If it's an acute or obtuse triangle, it does not work. So you have to make sure that it's a right triangle. The other thing to note is that your c squared, what is isolated on one side of the equation, is always the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse in a right triangle is always opposite of the right angle. But C has to be isolated on its own. The A and B, these can flip, doesn't matter. So looking at example 10.1, it says find A. That's an A, not a 9. So what we need to do, plug in our formula, A squared, put that here, plus b squared is 4, equals 7 squared, hypotenuse. Then you solve 4 squared, 16, 7 squared, 49. Subtract the 16. You get, I'll move it up here, 33 equals a squared. 33 equals a squared. How do you get a by itself? Opposite of squared is square root. So you square root the 33. That is not a perfect square. Therefore, square root of 33 equals a. That's all there is to it. Pythagorean theorem. Next example, it wants to show that you can use Pythagorean theorem to find the distance of this line. It gives coordinates -3, 4 and 4, 2. And it says use Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between these 2 points. I'll show you how to do that, but then I'll show you the other way to do it that we've done in the past. To use Pythagorean theorem, you would need to find, you would basically create a triangle. Or you would create a triangle. And you'd figure out the base, and you'd figure out the height. You'd notice that your height from this y, or y of 1 to y of 2, that's a distance of 2. From x of 1 to x of 2, you would actually have to subtract the absolute value, -7, so that'd be 7. So you would have a triangle, I drew a very small triangle, that would look like that, and you would find your hypotenuse, and it would be, you could do it that way. The other way to do it is the distance formula. And I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you to find the right answer. Distance formula, if you remember, is distance equals square root of x of 2 minus x of 1 squared, y of 2 minus y of 1 squared. And that is that's a distance formula. So you plug in, let's erase this, plug in x of 2, 4, x of 1 minus -3, so that becomes a positive. I'll write these so you can see. Y of 2 is 2, y of 1, 4, and we solve 4 plus 3, 7 squared. 49. 2 minus 4 is -2 squared, and that is actually a positive 4. So your answer would be 53. Whoa, that's not a 3. Your answer would be 53, but remember it is under the square root, so it would actually be square root of 53 as your distance. But that's all that lesson 10 has, just knowing the Pythagorean theorem and figuring out how to solve the distance between 2 points on a coordinate grid.